going on, everybody? It's your boy, King Kaif, back in your life with another NBA predictions and basketball breakdown video, as per usual, on this Tuesday evening. But, of course, we're going to go over our games from yesterday, MLK Day, our basketball breakdown right now. Let's get into it. With our first game, we have the Boston Celtics beating the Charlotte Hornets 130-118 behind Jason Tatum's 51 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 7 3-point makes. Great game from the Celtics. I told you that it'd be a bigger blowout than the last game, and I was not wrong. And Jason Tatum is putting up more MVP-like numbers. He's still in the race. Do I think he'll win? No, but he's still in the race, so congrats to him and the Celtics on an easy victory, an easy night at the office. To our next game, we have the LA Lakers beating the Houston Rockets 140-132 behind LeBron James's 48 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 5 3-point makes, and they needed every bucket from him, which is sad when you're facing off against a team that was 10-33 before the game started. No offense to the Houston Rockets, they're just a young team. So, it should have been a bigger blowout than it was. This was way too close of a game, and behind LeBron's game, I know he'll be happy about the points, but in the back of his head, he'll be like, really, I needed to put up 48 for us to win against the Houston Rockets. But nonetheless, they got the win, and now they are 20-24. They're still in it. This one I'm happy to talk about. I said yesterday that Steve Kerr had to let Curry just be Curry and let him shoot, and he did. And Steph Curry and the Warriors beat the Washington Wizards 127-118 behind Steph Curry's 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 3-point makes. Man went off. Jordan Poole had a big game as well, throwing in 32 points, I believe. Great win from everybody. Everybody played great when we needed it to. Hopefully we can get on a roll. I'm not keeping my fingers crossed on that one, but I hope that we can, and I hope that we can keep this train rolling. On to our next game, we have the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Indiana Pacers 132-119 behind Jrue Holiday's 35 points, 11 assists, 2 steals, and 5 3-point makes. He's been playing great. He's been showing up with the two other best players down right now, Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I do believe Giannis will return here soon, so possibly even tonight, I believe. So we'll see how that goes, but he's been stepping up, so congrats to Milwaukee Bucks and Jrue Holiday on that good win from them. In our next game, we have the Toronto Raptors beating the New York Knicks 123-121 in overtime. Fred VanVleet having 33 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 3-point makes. He finally had a good game. This is a shocker. Him finally having a good game. Good for you, Fred VanVleet. Even though you want to get traded, and you will get traded before trade deadline, you did not sign the extension on your contract. You're going to be going somewhere else. So, I guess to any other person or any other team that wants him, these numbers will look a little bit sexy to them, and they'll be like, "Oh, Fred VanVleet, he's peaking. He's coming back up." No, he's not. He'll be like a comparable shooter on like an above-average team like the Timberwolves. I heard they're trying to get him. I heard other teams are trying to get him. We'll see where he lands. Not really going to affect a team, If this was old Fred VanVleet, I'd say he has a lot of impact, but this is new Fred VanVleet, and this just ain't it. He ain't it. In our next game, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the New Orleans Pelicans 113-103 behind Darius Garland's 30 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists, and 5 3-point makes. This is a really good shooting backcourt with him and Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell has just brought out even more potential in Darius Garland and made him even better. Maybe even show him a little bit tricks of the trade, as they would say. But great win from them. They obviously didn't have Zion. They didn't have B.I. So, you can't take much out of this game. They tried to stay in it. The Pelicans, they tried to stay in it, but the Cleveland Cavaliers were just way too much for them. So they got the win, and we move on. In our next game, we have the Utah Jazz beating the Minnesota Timberwolves 126-125 behind Walker Kessler's 20 points, 21 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's just showing you should have kept me and not taken Rudy Gobert. But, that's what you're supposed to do when you face a team that traded you. Literally on, draft night. They're like, yeah, no, we don't want you. We're going to trade you. So, great win from Walker Kessler. And then them boys, they keep it rolling. They're 23-24. Almost, a little bit over the 500 mark. Couple more games. They'll get over it. But, great win from them. On to our next game, we have DeJounte Murray and the Atlanta Hawks beating the Miami Heat 121-113 behind DeJounte Murray's 28 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 5 3-point makes. He's been playing great basketball, like I said. I would build around him and trade Trae Young. I know they're not going to do that, obviously, because Trae Young's trade clause isn't coming up anytime soon, but I just think he's more of a buildable piece than Trae Young. Call me crazy. I know a lot of people would when it comes to that take, but, you know, they got the win nonetheless. And in our last and final game, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies beat the Phoenix Suns 136-106 behind Ja Morant's 29 points, 7 assists, and 5 3-point makes. He's been playing great. Shaq said how you have to throw him into the MVP conversation. I mean, yeah, you could, I guess. I mean, but like they'll play great without him. That proved even last season. They played good with him. They played great without him. They played great without him. They played great with him. Potatoes. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really much change, but that was our basketball breakdown. Now let's get into Tuesday night's slate of games. We start over here with the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. Simply put, I'm going to take the Nuggets. They're the hotter team. They're the better team. For them to have an interesting game against the Trailblazers are going to have to shoot the lights out. Anthony Simons and Damian Lillard are both going to have pretty big games. Do I think they'll do that? Yes. Do I think it'll be enough? No. I think Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and them boys are going to be a little too much for them. But we'll see how it works out tonight. Then we move on to the Nets versus the Spurs. I'm going to take the Nets even with Kyrie being questionable. I do believe that Kyrie will play. But even if he doesn't, I feel like Ben Simmons will have a good assist game. I feel like TJ Warren will step up and he'll bring the points. I feel like Joe Harris will hit a couple of needed threes. Seth Curry will hit some needed threes. Claxton will block and rebound and do everything you need to. And I say they get I wouldn't say a blowout, but closer to a blowout than a close game, if you pick up what I'm putting down. Now we move on to probably the game of the night with 76ers versus Clippers. I was debating this all today. I was like, oh, this game's on today? I was like, this is going to be a great matchup. And I was just like, who am I going to pick? 76ers, Clippers, 76ers, Clippers. And it all came down to who was going to play for the Clippers. We know who's going to play for the 76ers. So I'm going to have to go 76ers here. It's a hard one to bet on, like Clippers are at home, so even if they don't have their guys, they can always bounce back, and they're never, down or out of it, even in like the fourth quarter. They could be down like 20 and then they come back, so like it's a very iffy one, but I know what we're going to get when it comes to 76ers. When it comes to Clippers, will Paul George play? Will Kawhi play? Who will play? Who won't play? It's too much questions up in the air, so I'll take the 76ers here, but I think it'll be a great game nonetheless. We move on to our next and our final game for this Tuesday evening. Raptors, Bucks. I feel like Giannis might rear his ugly head right now, and it might be a bad day at the opposite of the Raptors. They just kind of win against the Knicks, and now they're just going to crumble against the Milwaukee Bucks. And even if they don't have Giannis, I feel like the Bucks are just a better all-around team, and I think the Raptors just squeaked out a win against the Knicks. And they got lucky. The Knicks let that game slide out of their fingertips. It was more of the Knicks losing than the Raptors winning. So I'll take the Bucks here in a pretty easily contested game from them. But we'll see. These are all my predictions for the Tuesday night games. Everyone let me hear predictions down in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you already know. It's been your boy King Kife. I'm out. Peace.